everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we take a look at the Dino Trackers Strike Attack Herrerasaurus. Strike Attack is a new class added to Dino Trackers. They're very similar, actually they're pretty much exactly the same as the old Savage Strike figures, but Mattel kind of did away with these smaller size figures that had action features. During the Dominion line, the only ones that had it were the Legacy Collection figures in this size class. We had like the Danger Packs, Wild Packs, whatever the hell they were called, to fill in that gap for small class figures. But it's nice that these are making a return. Now, these figures are pretty hard to track down. I ended up finding mine at Best Buy. They had a bunch of them on the shelves. They had almost the whole wave, except for like the Zuniceratops and Genodectes. So I'm glad I grabbed this in the Dilophosaurus. Maybe that's the reason the Strike Attack and the new Danger Pack figures are so hard to find. It just made me tell us too many different classes of figures, and it's a non-movie year. The stores are less likely to stock a lot of their products. That's maybe my theory why these figures are a pain in the ass to find. So if you're trying to hunt these down, definitely hit up your local Best Buy. So let's go over the package really quick before we crack this figure open. This is not the first time we've seen Herrerasaurus in the Jurassic World line. It made a couple appearances a few years ago, but this figure is a vast improvement over the originals. It has the desert environment insignia on the packaging. Jurassic World logo down here, blue and beta, who cares? Dino Tracker logo covered by the Best Buy sticker. Spinning around, we get a picture of how its Strike Attack feature works. And down here, the other figures in the wave. Like I said earlier, I did pick up the Dilophosaurus. They didn't have these two. I don't know if I'm going to pick them up. I already have a Zuniceratops and a Genodectes. I picked up the Zuni because I did really like that figure. But anyways, enough about the packaging. Let's crack this figure open and take a closer look. And here is the Herrerasaurus the packaging. And I have to say, for a species Mattel has already done in the line a few times, I really like this figure. This is a vast improvement over the original, which I'll take out a little later on during comparison. But very well done figure. Nicely detailed, great proportions. Love the sculpt all around. Like I said, this is one of my favorite figures so far released in Dino Trackers, one that we've already seen a few times already. Love the coloration on it. You have this nice rusty orange color mixing it with brown. Paint apps are still sparse, but the way they did it with the plastic, everything, the figure looks pretty much, fully complete, besides the hand claws not being painted in. The head sculpt is absolutely beautiful. Love that airbrush look with the gray for the head as it transitions down the neck. You get some nice brown striping along the side of the body, the contrast with all that orange. So all around a really nice looking figure that I am very surprised by. And yeah, cool looking figure. And now for some measurements, this figure is 7.5 inches long from the tip of the snout to the tip of the tail, or 19 centimeters, about 3 inches tall to the top of the head, of 7.6 centimeters. So Herrerasaurus in real life was up to 20 feet long, or 6 meters. So I'll put this figure in the 125 scale range. All right, let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure, starting with this really nice head sculpt. Vast improvement over the original. You have a nice, wide, boxy looking head like Herrerasaurus should. Eyes painted yellow with a black pupil. A little sloppy on my copy. The other side is just slightly better, just a little off center. Mattel really sucks with the quality control with the eye paint apps on their figures. I always bitch about it, and pretty much a lot of the reviews. Teeth are painted a nice white color. You have some plastic pink for the gums. Tongue is painted also a bright pink color. Even the back of the throat, let's see if we can get in. There's actually some nice detail at the very back. And then going down to the head, you get some nice scale detail all over the place. Love all the details along the lower jaw and around the lips, all those large scales. You got a little row of bumps on the top of the head that goes all the way down the back and stops right about where you check out the Dino Tracker code. And let's get the camera to focus in on all that beautiful detail. Very well sculpted figure. Love all the scale variation, all the little details. You got some large osteoderms on the thighs. Going down to the arms, they have nicely sculpted claws. No paint on the claws. That's, like I said, it's always typical for most of the mainline figures. A little bit of brown paint on the side of the torso and above the legs. Legs are colored, cast in that brown plastic. And then going down to the tail, I almost forgot what I was going to say for a second. You have a nicely sculpted brown tail that does not quite color match the brown paint on the rest of the figure. Kind of looks It looks like it matches up pretty well on camera, but in person it is like a night and day difference. You do have some black plastic flecks mixed in on the tail to add a little bit more definition. Wow, my camera really hates focusing in on this figure. And then right here, we do have the scan code for those who want to scan it into the fax app. But yeah, all around a very nicely done figure. Nice Herrerasaurus 2.0. Now for articulation, pretty basic. Most of it is tied to the action feature. Mouth can close completely flush, can open up that far, arms can move forwards and backwards. They are actually on a hinge, so you can swing them out. Back legs can move backwards and forwards that far, and there's a little bit of a pivot on the hips to help with stability. And now for the action feature, there is a button right here. Let's get our little Herrerasaurus mouth open up. You just push it and it will get this little, head bobbing action. So nice little action feature. I can do without it. I'd rather have that neck articulation, but it doesn't really hamper the figure that much. Moving on with comparisons, here it is with the Hammond Collection Dr. Alan Grant. And next up, here it is with the old Herrerasaurus figure. It is night and day. I actually did quite like the old Herrerasaurus figure. It was very retro looking, especially the first one because it had the coloration from Jurassic Park, the game. But this new one is a vast improvement over the original. I absolutely adore this figure. It's a figure I won't mind if they repaint a couple times because I'll definitely pick it up because I like it so much. And here it is with the previously reviewed Austroraptor. And here it is with the Hammond Collection Dilophosaurus. And let's do a couple more dino trackers. Here it is with the Tyrannosaurus. And next up, here it is with Sinotyrannus. And here it is with the Hammond Collection Ceratosaurus. And lastly, here it is with the Hammond Collection T-Rex. So final thoughts on the Strike Attack Herrerasaurus. Like I said a couple times in this review, I really like this figure. It is a vast improvement over the original. It's a nicely sculpted figure. It looks like a Herrerasaurus. It's just a great figure all around, and I highly recommend it. The action feature, I can do without it, but it doesn't really get in the way of the sculpt of the figure and how you compose it. But yeah, really like unexpected surprise in this line. I did not think I was going to like this Herrerasaurus this much. And like I said at the beginning of the review, best place right now to find this figure is Best Buy. Hopefully Walmart and Target get their crap together and actually start stocking the newer figures. We're all still waiting for the new Hammond Collection figures to show up at Target. They got that 30th anniversary end cap all set up, and it is just full of Ray Arnolds and Muldoons, and it's getting a little sickening. So that will do it for the review. Still got the Strike Attack Dilophosaurus. I'll be reviewing some Collect Day figures. So I have a bunch of new reviews coming up on the channel, so stay tuned for all that. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on the channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys for the next one.